Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, if I have a decent Equifax score, okay, and I was trying to get a personal loan, an unsecured personal loan, then I would lock up my TransUnion and I would lock up my Experian, okay, and I would go after these here financial institutions. And the reason why is that with some of these financial institutions, the leverage they give you is better than Navy Federal, because I know a lot of people, they get hung up on Navy Federal. However, sometimes even with an 800 credit score, Navy Federal will not give you a loan. All right, so I'm gonna tell you some of my favorite places I would actually go to if I was looking for a loan. All right, the first one is DCU, Digital Credit Union. All right, now the main reason is because when you go through DCU to get a personal loan, they give you 60 days to make your first payment. All right, so that's number one. Number two, if you have bad credit, they will still give you a up to $2,000 loan, okay, with bad credit and no credit check. All right, now the situation with that is, for the first 90 days they'll give you a loan up to $1,000. Then up to 6 months they'll give you up to $2,000. All right, now here's where the leverage come in at. If you have bad credit, you may want to consider taking that $2,000 loan, and you may want to get a secured loan added to the credit file, as well as a secured credit card. Okay, now I would probably consider like United Nations Federal Credit Union for that secured loan. And the reason why is because with that United Nations Federal Credit Union secure loan, whatever you put in, like you put $1,000 in, they give you up to 150% of that loan. So they'll give you a $1,500 loan if you put in $1,000. So that's the reason why I would go with their secured loan. All right, now here's another thing that I would definitely tell you in terms of leveraging with DCU. They use a mortgage score 5, the Equifax mortgage score 5. Now, a lot of people are not even aware or ever seen their mortgage score 5. All right, and there's a link in the description if you want to actually pull your real credit report and schedule one-on-one. I actually teach you how to read it and how to leverage your mortgage score, okay, in order to get funding. Now, the next institution is Langley Federal Credit Union. Why I would have them as one of my top tier? Because they use a FICO 9 credit score. It's Equifax, but it's a FICO 9 credit score. And the minimum credit score you need for them is a 620 for their personal loan. Now, the best part about that, what I just mentioned, is that because it's a FICO 9, that means that you can have authorized users, you can have rental payments, you can have subscriptions, and you can have utilities added to the credit file to boost your credit score up to a 620. Most credit unions, if they see you hovering about a 620 or more, they're a little more flexible to giving you a loan. But adding on those type of primaries not only will help aid your credit file, but also boost up the credit score to help you qualify. Now, the next institution is the State Employees Credit Union. All right, now they use a mortgage 5 as well in order to get qualified. Then you also have AOD. All right, you have AOD in order to get a personal loan. All right, now here's another one, NIH. They use a mortgage 5 credit score as well. Now, here's the thing about it. With some of these here credit unions, they may either use check systems as well, or they may use early warning system. NIH, they may take a look at your check systems, all right? So just keep that in mind. Now, here's another credit union I would definitely tell you that I would prefer over Navy Federal, is because, again, it's Liberty Credit Union, Liberty Federal Credit Union. And the reason why, when you go after their personal loans and you get qualified for their personal loan, they give you 90 days before you have to make a payment. So even if you qualify for only $25,000-$30,000, okay, you have 90 days before you make your first payment. That's a lot of leverage there. With that $25,000-$30,000 within 90 days, and especially if you're still trying to rebuild your credit, the leverage that you have is taking that money, paying down all of your revolving debt from smallest to largest. This will push your credit score up the fastest. Now, your credit score that changes the fastest would be under your Vantage score, 3 and 4, as well as your FICO 9 scores, okay? And so once those scores change, it usually takes your FICO score a little longer to change or update, but those Vantage scores, there are credit unions you can easily go after for more funding. Now, here's the thing about it I also like about Liberty. Not only do you qualify for that personal loan with no payments for 90 days, but you can use that same inquiry to qualify for a credit card, an auto loan, or a line of credit as well. Okay, so if you're able to get that line of credit, that's going to be your best leverage, because you only have to pay interest on what you actually use. So that's the reason why I would tell you that I would choose a loan from Liberty over Navy Federal. Okay, now next credit union is Justice. Okay, so here's the situation with Justice. They're very generous with their credit cards. Okay, they're good with their loans, but they do have a loan for $10,000, and you have 90 days to make your first payment. So that's the great thing about Justice. They actually do have a $10,000 loan that you can actually borrow. And just keep in mind, all of these are Equifax. So locking up your Experian and TransUnion is going to give you the biggest leverage, because you know that they're not going to pull from anywhere else. All right. Now, the next institution is Huntington Bank. Now, Huntington Bank, they use Equifax as well. All right. And they have multiple financial products to help you also. Then you also have Citibank. Now, remember I was telling you about using Liberty loans and paying down your revolving debt. Then once your credit score goes up, then you can hop over to Citibank. Not only do their loans pull Equifax, but say that you are a Costco member, and you wanted their credit card. Well, they have that Costco card, and it pulls Equifax as well. So that will also give you leverage also. All right. Now, you also have another credit union, and which is GE Federal Credit Union. All right. They go up to $50,000 as well. They use Equifax also. Now, so you all with very bad credit, then you may have to look at other alternative lenders to get qualified for funding, and those loans that don't report on the personal credit. So you're going to have to look at like low credit finance. Low credit finance goes up to $50,000. Interest rates is 5.99 up to 35.9. But when you qualify for the loan, it does not report on the personal credit file. Okay, so that would give you leverage to pay down some of your revolving debt to get your credit score up to apply for some of these other credit union loans also. Then you also have Max Personal Loans. Now with Max Personal Loans, they mostly use tribal lenders. They're not in all 50 states, and the interest rates is definitely going to be much higher. However, they don't have to go through all the red tape a lot of the banks and credit unions, and of course their DTI will surpass that 55% DTI. That's a big thing that happens with a lot of people. If you have great credit score, you may have too high of a debt to income ratio. Okay, so I hope this video helps you. If you have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.